Hello, everybody, and
What
welcome
is up,
back.
fam?
Yep, and welcome back to the Building and Chatting podcast. We are going to be doing some Star Wars stuff today.
Yes.
Talk about some Star Wars news, all the news.
All the
of
news that we
Star Wars.
got currently going on right now, we got Daisy Ridley's upcoming Star Wars film that apparently has some work done to it. We got a brand new trilogy that's in the works by a very famous writer and producer and a very terrible director. Um, and we got a film that's in the works that was announced by the guy who did Indiana Jones, The Dial of Destiny, and Logan. So,
And Ford versus Ferrari. He has a good track record.
Ford versus Ferrari. We can't forget about that one.
Now,
But,
listen, even
yeah.
though Indiana Jones was a mid movie, we can all agree that it wasn't the worst.
It definitely wasn't the worst.
But James Mangold knows how to make a movie, so that's all I'll say.
Yeah, he definitely knows how. So
Yeah, and I don't blame him because Kathleen Kennedy was a main factor of Part 5, and he was like the eighth director they hired, so that's not his fault.
Yeah, definitely not his fault. Definitely the writer and Kathleen Kennedy.
Yeah. All right, now getting right on into it. First of all, we're just going to say this real quick, just really quick news.
Yeah.
First of all, Skeleton Crew coming out December 3rd, I think, for the first 2 or 3 episodes.
Yeah, they're dropping the first 2 episodes.
First 2, yep. And then Andor Season 2 coming in 2025. Probably, if I had to guess, probably spring or summer, maybe fall. But around those times of year. I don't think it's going to be Skeleton Crew at Christmas. I think it's going to be definitely summer or fall. And then because we are planning to get Andor Lego sets in the summer, so I'd assume that the show would release around the same time. But all right. So after all that, let's get right on into all this new Star Wars news. Now, there's one I want to talk about first because it's the one that I really did not know there was an update about. Yeah. You said there was an update about the Rey movie? I didn't even know there was one.
Yeah. So there's another podcast that I watch every now and then. It's called the Happy, Sad, Confused podcast. Daisy Ridley showed up in there, and she actually talked about the Rey Skywalker movie that's supposed to be coming out. She said that there is something. They got the story down. They're trying to finish the script. They need a director still. I think.
Who?
No, I'm good.
Okay. I think we got. We still got Abisha Mishinoy. However you say your name, attached to it. It's gonna be her, Kathleen Kennedy, and Daisy Ridley. I like Daisy Ridley as an actress. I think she does a phenomenal job. Her as Rey in the first movie, I liked. The second 2 movies, it was the same character, nothing really new or special. I liked her in Chaos Walking, and especially that new movie where she played a female swimmer. I liked those movies.
Sorry. No, there's one more that I like Daisy Ridley in.
Which one?
That it's very underrated. People don't give it the credit. They say it was a bad remake, but I don't agree. Murder on the Orient Express, the new one. It was really good with her too.
I didn't know she did that.
She did do that. It was really good. She was one of the passengers. She was good in that as well. So, she is a really good actress. She has the chops to do it. The thing she's worried about, and I'm most worried about, is of course before this movie even comes out, we don't want her to pass away because she said that she has a thing dealing with I think it was throat cancer or lung, something like a disease in the lungs, right?
I think it was after the Chaos Walking movie came out. She said she had some sort of cancer.
She still does right now.
Yeah.
But that's what she said is her biggest fear. Like, depending on how long it takes, and if a treatment doesn't work, then that's very tough to hear.
Yeah.
But we hope that it gets made. I would want it to get made, or at least be something there
Yeah, because I definitely think that there's something there with this Rey movie, but it's coming off the backbone of The Last Jedi and The Rise of Skywalker. And not only that, she came out, and according to some reports, I don't even think it's true because they didn't even talk about it in the podcast, is that she started attacking fans about it, about Abishame Shinoy and calling all the fans sexist.
I haven't seen it.
I haven't seen that. I've heard a couple people talk about it, but I haven't seen any official report or anything. Like on the Happy Sad Confused podcast, she said that she's barely on social media to begin with.
Yeah, she doesn't have it. I'm pretty sure. So
yeah, and so I don't know. I mean, it's a possibility. I hardly doubt that she even did that. She definitely doesn't seem the person to do that or have the time to do that because she's dealing with the cancer thing, and then she's also a producer. She's working on this TV show project with her and I think her husband or something. Mm-hmm. But she doesn't have the time for that. This Rey Skywalker movie, I don't know. But to be honest, I don't know what could possibly this movie delve into. I mean, it's the birth of a new Jedi Order. I don't even know like what you can even do with that. I know there was talks about of a young Palpatine at one point. Maybe you could do that, but I really hope to God they don't do that.
Palpatine came back again.
But as a younger clone. I don't know. I don't know what they could do. The only thing I can think of is that it would be some political drama, but with the Jedi. There's nobody that they can fight. There's no Sith. There's no acolytes. There's no Knights of Ren.
You could do an Andor.
Really so unless you pump out a young Palpatine clone, or you pump out maybe Darth Talon or something from Legends, which that was a story beat for George Lucas's sequel trilogy where Darth Talon was going to be in it. Which honestly, that would have been pretty cool to see. Darth Maul would have been Palpatine, and Darth Talon would have been the Darth Vader, the Kylo Ren of the trilogy. But I don't know what could be possibly explored within the Rise of Skywalker. I mean, the Rey Skywalker movie, the Rey Palpatine movie.
The Rise of Skywalker again.
Yes, the Rise of Skywalker Part 2. But I don't know. I'm not even excited about this. The whole female feminist activist director. Immediately, I'm not even a fan of her. Kathleen Kennedy is the head producer of this, and she's not going to leave until there's a hit. This is definitely not going to be a hit. You look at the previous two movies that had this character in it. She's not there.
I know what the hit is.
It's not going to be a hit. The Mandalorian movie that's coming out. She's the producer, but even that is just 5 episodes of television. So I don't know what the Rey Skywalker movie is going to be about. I do know that there's been more development of it. They're most likely definitely going to talk about it at Star Wars Celebration in Japan, along with Andor Season 2, and hopefully the future of Star Wars, because there's no direction whatsoever.
No, I believe there is a direction, but the problem is that the people that actually have a direction of where they want to go, they keep getting screwed over because Kathleen Kennedy wants to keep greenlighting these stupid projects.
Exactly. Like we got the Dawn of the Jedi, which is going to be the next topic we're going to talk about real quick. And then we got that, which is set past the Acolyte. We got the High Republic era. And then we got this new trilogy that is set after the Skywalker saga.
Yeah. Okay. So which one do you want to cover next? We could
do the James Mangold thing because just got news about that. According to a report that I just saw by Empire Magazines, I don't know how reliable they are. James Mangold's Dawn of the Jedi is set to possibly start filming next year about it. And not gonna lie, after Dial of Destiny, I don't know. I don't trust the Dawn of the Jedi story. I do know that the Game of Thrones directors even went out of their way to talk about the fact that that was their idea as well. So there was some controversy about James Mangold and the Game of Thrones writers and directors with that. But it's in development. I don't know. What do you think about Dawn of the Jedi and what that could possibly like? Do you think that is going to be a good movie at all?
like the beginning of the Jedi type thing, or like is
like
it before or after?
It said before the Acolyte. It's literally the beginning, the origin of the Jedi.
Oh God.
Yeah.
No.
James Mangold, I mean, he's a phenomenal director. He does
That's
a
the
really
thing.
good job. But
he's a director who's writing it is the problem.
Yeah, and the thing is, Dawn of the Jedi has been drafted by several people. The last people that did it was the Game of Thrones directors, and they called out James Mangold for it. Not publicly, but they talked to people, and I know it's been covered already by a bunch of other people. I don't know. Do you think an origin of the Jedi is necessary? I think it could be a good story, but I don't know.
This is the thing with me. I think you could do it, but does it need to be told? No.
Yeah.
It's Joker. The Joker need an origin? No.
Yeah. No,
but
absolutely
was it a good movie? Yes.
100%.
But now here's the other part. Do the Jedi need an origin? No.
No.
We know even back then when it was started that there was divide in the councils. We see that in the Acolyte. We see that in the prequel trilogy, in the Clone Wars. Like we've seen the basis of how the Jedi act all throughout history.
Yeah.
I really don't think we need another thing to show. I don't think you need to show an origin story.
Mm-hmm.
And also Dan and Dave, listen. You all made 5, maybe 6 great seasons of television. Now, people consider 6 very mid, but people say like 1 to 5, but definitely 1 to 4 of Game of Thrones are the best. And what were those seasons? The seasons where you had all the source material. Dan and Dave did. I'm sorry, you all are frauds. Dan and Dave are frauds because all they did was copy the books. When the books ran out, they had nothing else to do and ruined the ending. They ruined Game of Thrones because you did not have the story. Even if George gave you the points, he said, hey, these are the final parts of my story. You screwed it up. HBO wanted more. George wanted more. And you turned it down
and they
to go
ended
to
it
Star
literally
Wars.
because of the Lucasfilm deal.
Yes, and you ruined Game of Thrones for Star Wars, and then you didn't even do it.
Exactly.
And they were going to do Knights of the Old Republic. Now I think they could have done that because they had source material. But when they don't have source material, they are the biggest frauds around. It is the case because listen, this is the thing I would tell everybody. They're not going to do it because they think they think they're above it. They think they're above Star Wars right now. A lot of writers do. But if you had the people that worked with Dan and Dave on Game of Thrones, etc., the people making House of the Dragon, you would have the greatest Star Wars trilogy or show ever made. They would go and look at the history. They would go and look at what they need to do in that era and make a great show. But they don't want to do it because they think they're above you. They think they are because they have the biggest show on television besides Prime Video with the boys and all this stuff. And of course they have Penguin. On some people on House of the Dragon that are writers have been on Penguin, or they share things with each other. You aren't going to win these good directors. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Or writers.
And there's only one thing I can think about Dawn of the Jedi that could possibly work. I know the Wills were explored in the Clone Wars, and George Lucas wanted to use them in his sequel trilogy.
The Wills of the Wisp. Yep.
Yeah, and I could say that could definitely play a part of it. There's a very supernatural place where that could be explored. I think that Lucasfilm, they could use the whole twin thing again. I think that can actually work. Besides the Acolyte, they cannot handle twins. But with James Mangold, I think that if they crack the story down right, I think that they do have something here, for sure. Like I
Yeah,
said, there's been several drafts. An origin of the Jedi, it's not necessarily needed, but it would be a neat story. There's a lot of material that they can use from Expanded Universe. There was at one point where Jedis were powered by by backpacks. I don't want to see that. God forbid we don't see that, but it would be kind of cool. And it definitely has like this cyberpunk feel to it, which I think that James Mangold can do. But besides Ford versus Ferrari and Logan, there's a couple of other movies, but he hasn't tackled that sci-fi element really a whole lot. But I think he could do a good job with it if he just uses the twin story basis of the Dawn of the Jedi, and maybe spawn a sequel to where both of the brothers have a conflict between each other that creates the Sith and the Jedi. And then we got the Old Republic. I think that can work. But besides that, Dawn of the Jedi, it's something. It's definitely something. But like the past 6 years, we've had a lot of talk and no show when it comes to Disney.
Yeah, and the
over 20 plus projects canceled under them.
Yeah, and the problem with me the problem with how I feel about the Dawn of the Jedi. The beginning has already happened. We've seen it happen.
Yeah.
The end. No, here's the thing. Everyone's like, "Oh, the Dawn of the Jedi started Jedi. It would be so cool." We've already had it, and you know what is finishing that storyline and possibly bringing the Wisp and all these things into it that George talked about? What is the biggest thing in Star Wars right now that has brought the beginning of the Jedi Order into question, that split two siblings off from each other to form the Sith and the Light? Mortis.
The Mortis. I forgot about that too.
This Ahsoka is going to end the Mortis storyline, the Dawn of the Jedi, and it's going to start the Wisp or end the Wisp as well. It's going to, and Ahsoka is going to be the thing that George, I think, if it's not for the full thing that he wanted, it's going to be very close. Yeah. Because you know for damn sure, Dave, John, all these people that were around him before he sold knew kind of where he wanted it to end. But doesn't it feel like why bring up the Mortis gods at all if they're not going to be important?
Yeah, and I don't even think, if I remember correctly, besides the Wills of the Force, I don't even remember if the Mortis gods were a thing that George Lucas had created. I think that's an original Dave Filoni idea that George Lucas approved of. But just like that with the Mortis gods, I think, and thank you for mentioning that. I think he could definitely use that in his film to kind of help.
Yeah, I think it would be the best.
It could do a really good job if they do it correctly. But because of Indiana Jones Dial of Destiny, James Mangold's reputation, it needs to go back because he's had 2 great hits back to back. And then he has this movie, Indiana Jones Dial of Destiny, that's been in production for 8 years. Now we got Dawn of the Jedi, which was taken by Game of Thrones directors. I mean, who knows? Maybe he could do a really good job. I have faith in him, but I don't see this project going anywhere. I really don't. Filming starts in 2025. We'll see what happens.
I feel like if you showed how the Mortis gods came to be, and then how they got to the where they were locked away on Mortis, basically. Yeah. If you get to that point when Anakin discovers them, and you know what? At the end of the movie, you could have Hayden Christensen in the live action Mortis gods and have him meet them, and then that is how the Dawn of the Jedi, because that is what started the Jedi and the Sith. Basically, if you really think about it, that's how it started.
Maybe they can have like a silhouette of Hayden Christensen, not like a full on face reveal, but you can definitely tell that is Hayden Christensen.
And his voice. Yeah.
Like maybe they have a vision of it or something. I thought about that for the Old Republic trilogy, but
it'd be so cool. But that is where you could go with that for sure. But we can I think what's the next stuff we know about?
We got the Kevin Conroy Star Wars trilogy. I mean,
Simon
Kinberg. Simon Kinberg.
I was about to say, wait, what?
No. Simon Kinberg. So earlier this morning, it was reported by the Hollywood Reporter and Deadline, and then a bunch of people came out afterwards stating that Simon Kinberg will be producing and writing a Star Wars trilogy. He is responsible for Deadpool 1 and 3 as producer roles, as well as Logan, and he was also the director for X-Men Dark Phoenix and a lot of other well, that was the first time he directed anything, which honestly, that was better than Last Stand, in my opinion. He produced a lot of the X-Men movies, including Fantastic Four's reboot. He was also credited as a producer and a writer for Star Wars Rebels, and has been reported to have a geek level of knowledge when it comes to Star Wars. So,
well, after mentioning everything, I definitely could see him being good. There's some projects on there. No, but you didn't say he was a director. You just a producer for most things.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can't really. That's more writer and director that make the movie, and producers like, oh, you can make this shot look better. That's mainly their job.
Oh, you can do this, but we don't want this.
Yeah,
And it's funny because the director is supposed to be the It's kind of confusing, but also it's understandable. But the director is usually the guy that has the vision, but then the producer comes in. He's like, "Oh no, you can't do this." But Simon Kinberg, this guy, he's supposed to be producing and writing. A lot of people said he's supposed to be directing, which is not true at all. Also, it is reported that Kathleen Kennedy will be attached to this trilogy, and it is also supposed to be episodes 10 through 12, and will continue the Skywalker saga. So
does that mean that the Rey movie, it's Rey, and then there's the Rey movie, and then the Rey movie starts the, what would this now be, the sequel trilogy?
I guess so, but my biggest concern, obviously, Kathleen Kennedy is the biggest concern. I'm not a hater for Kathleen Kennedy. She's a phenomenal producer, terrible studio director, terrible CEO.
Did you remember? Did you remember what Steven Spielberg said? She said she would get us our coffee from time to time, but then in some meetings she would just bring up the most horrible ideas, like why can't the dog be gay or something? Like he's like, everyone just like was like, no, Kathy, no.
Yeah. But I mean, she literally has the bet. Like, yes, George Lucas picked her, which it's George Lucas. Can't really say much about that, but I'm sure the guy regrets picking Kathleen Kennedy as his successor. Dave Filoni, I definitely would not have picked him, but Kathleen Kennedy was the best choice. She produced the prequel trilogy. She has a great track record as a producer. Terrible CEO, but she has a producer role in this. Honestly, Simon Kinberg, I think I have some sort of trust with him, just because. Yes, he's had a lot of good hits. X-Men First Class, X-Men. You've had Logan. You've had the Deadpool movies. He also worked on Star Wars Rebels as well. And he's a phenomenal writer. He's a really good job. As a director, I mean, yes, he has had his misses, a lot of misses. X2, a lot of people liked. I didn't really care for it. Then you had X-Men Apocalypse. Then you had his directorial debut with X-Men Dark Phoenix, which was better than The Last Stand, but still a bad movie. But I don't know. And then first off, and then the last thing I'll probably say is, why are you going back to the Skywalker saga? Why can't this be something else? Seriously. You said episode 9 was the last one. Obviously, yes, we're getting the Rey movie. Honestly, I'm probably going to say that the Rey movie is attached to episode 10 through 12.
Yeah, that's what I was
thinking. Unless it's a standalone movie, then this trilogy has to take place decades. Don't make it 25 again. Please don't make it 25 years. Because this, the Rey movie, I've heard reports about it being it's supposed to take place when she's 40 years old or something like that. And she has children, and she's leading the Jedi Order. And Like, it's supposed to have a huge gap afterwards. Daisy Ridley still looks like she's in her 20s. So I don't know how they're going to pull that off. And this trilogy, I don't know. I want to be hopeful. And we've had so much Star Wars news. I want to be hopeful for all of this. Dawn of the Jedi, I'm kind of excited for. The Rey Skywalker movie has a possibility to be good, but it's not going to be good. The Mandalorian movie, it's only going to be good because of the first 2 seasons and the fact that Grogu's in it. And Luke Skywalker and Han Solo and Leia are supposed to be in it. But it's 5 episodes of TV. And then you got this new trilogy that's coming out. We've had so much already canceled since the sequels have started. We've had the Boba Fett. We've had 2 different Boba Fett films canceled. James Mangold was supposed to direct a Boba Fett film.
Yeah.
And then we've had, let's see, Lando's still being worked on. I don't see that happening.
No.
So we've had 2 Boba Fett films. We've had an Obi-Wan Kenobi film and then trilogy. We've had
then the show,
then we've had the Darth Maul film.
Yep.
That's been scrapped several times. And then we've had and then we've had the Game of Thrones trilogy scrapped. Taika Waititi's film scrapped. Rian Johnson's trilogy scrapped. Patty Jenkins' Rogue Squadron scrapped.
You know what is so sad too?
What?
Is I love like all of these like I love Star Wars. And the Acolyte, you should not have placed it 1. You should not have placed it in the High Republic, an era no one knows. And 2, the Acolyte should have been Palpatine and Darth Maul.
Yes, it should.
That's the Acolyte. That's what people wanted.
And if you didn't do that, you literally could have had the Acolyte connect to the sequel trilogy. You really could have, and it would have been great because you had the Knights of Ren, which they idolized Darth Vader. The Acolytes of Vader turning into the Knights of Ren. First off, the Ren idea, honestly, that would be a pretty cool name for a Sith. Darth Ren would be pretty cool. But we're not going to get
Milo Ren.
Well, yeah. I mean, you actually, there was a Knight of Ren character named Ren.
Yeah, I know.
And he had a lightsaber, but yeah. But you could have had the Acolyte connect to the sequel trilogy, and it would have been great. It would have been a Kylo Ren show, which there was reports of a Kylo Ren series. That's been canceled. There's been 20 plus films and probably 30 plus shows that have been canceled in the past 10 years. I want to feel hopeful about this trilogy. I don't see it. I'm cautious. I'm so cautious with this because it's the Skywalker saga continuing.
Yeah, that's the worst thing they could have done. I could see you doing a trilogy after, but don't have it be 10 through 12. Have it be like you can have the sequel and maybe like the new Jedi Order trilogy or something.
Yeah.
I might have to do that. Cancel the Rey movie and then just make the new Jedi Order trilogy and have this guy write it. And then there you go.
And yes, you could still have the female activist as the director. And I kid you not, it'll probably be good. Better than the sequel trilogy, for sure. Because Simon Kinberg, when it comes to his writing, so far it's been good. It's been really good. Besides Apocalypse and X-Men The Last Stand and Fantastic Four as the reboot, as the producer role, it's been good. He and not only that, he loves Star Wars. He is a nerd. He is a geek. He's a huge fan. And I think that's what Star Wars needs. We need people like Simon Kinberg, you and myself, and Star Wars Theory, Critical Drinker, these people who know the business, who have an idea of the industry, and who are fans, who know what the fans want, because we are them. We need Star Wars fans in Lucasfilm, and all we're getting is just crap. It's like I expect a medium rare steak, and you give me a rubber chicken kind of thing from Lucasfilm.
Yeah, I would make now because they took the Acolyte away from the thing.
Yeah.
It's canceled. They won't ever give the name Acolyte to anything again. But the thing is it would have been so good if that was a Maul story.
It should have been. That should have been the Darth Maul.
Now you have to do Maul, a Star Wars story, and then have like 6 to 8 episodes. I think Maul you could do in like 6 episodes like Kenobi. I think you could.
You can easily do that and have him be a character that you want to root for. But because of the fact that he's been manipulated by a 60-year-old man, like the whole comic book run of young Darth Maul is a great comic book run. I've read it, and it's so good. It is such a good story. The fact that they haven't put that in film is crazy. Because like Darth Maul, very iconic character. Thanks to Dave Filoni and Clone Wars and Rebels, beloved by all fans. He's the character to where literally in Greek mythology, where he keeps pushing the boulder up, but
keeps falling back down. Yeah.
It goes back down. You want to root for this guy, but what can make you feel more bad for this guy is seeing the fact that he falls in love with this girl, and then later on he starts to get manipulated. He starts to succeed. He's starting to do very well, and then he gets manipulated, and then the girl dies, and he's turned into this bitter young adult at this point. Like, it could have been a really good job. They could have done a phenomenal job.
Yeah.
And you could have introduced the witches, the Night Sisters.
Yep.
But I don't know. I want to be hopeful for Simon Kinberg's trilogy, and I really hope that it does come out. But I'm going to keep cautious.
Yeah, the Night Sister.
Until we get a director that I can trust. Patty Jenkins is probably the first person that I've been able to trust besides James Goldberg.
Mangold.
Mangold, not Goldberg. Mangold. James Mangold and Patty Jenkins. Those are the first 2 directors I've heard that I trust without a shadow of a doubt. Taika Waititi, nope, never did. I'm sorry.
No.
Ryan Johnson, the fact that he got praise from George Lucas was crazy. He could have done a really good job. He would have done. He would have done a great job.
No, if Kathleen Kennedy was there, because remember, Ryan blamed Kathleen for a lot of those bigger decisions. He said he was the one that did she was the one that did Mary Poppins, Leia, and all that stuff.
Yeah, Leia should have died in that scene. She should have died. She should not have been in the Rise of Skywalker at all.
And Luke being
Luke should have actually been Luke should have been the last survivor. Obviously Leia, I get it. She's the first character that we were introduced to out of the big cast. But Luke Skywalker was the head of the original trilogy. He should have been the last one to die.
Yeah.
But
and here's the thing with that too. The thing I love about like this is he should not have gone and tried to kill Kylo. I don't think that was the right decision. But it was said that Kathleen Kennedy majorly influenced that one as well. But also, the thing I love about this is that you could have had Kylo betray Luke anyway, but still have Luke not look like a bad guy either.
Exactly.
And
or like,
and
I
the
can
thing
understand the idea of killing him is if we got to see how powerful Ben was when he was a kid.
And here's the thing I wanted to say about that.
Yeah.
Have him burn down the Jedi Temple and kill all of the students with his new Knights of Ren supplied by Snoke. Yeah. Show that he was working in the background this whole time with Snoke. And then as soon as Luke thinks he's figured it out, the worst thing happens. He is fully evil and kills everybody and leaves Luke to die under rubble or whatever. And then that would have a reason for Luke, Han, and Leia to get together again, too. You would have had that whole great chapter right there, and you ruined it.
Yeah, they could have. And it pains me because I'm terrible at writing, but I know how I would have done that story. And yes, I'm not happy with what they did with Luke Skywalker, but I've accepted that's what they did. And with how they're going, it makes sense. But that's not how I would have done the sequel trilogy. I would have honestly, I kid you not. I can't wait until I get into this industry because I want to take a crack at Star Wars. I really do. But at this point, with all the cancellations, with over 50 projects canceled within 10 years, The only thing coming close to that is the DCEU with over 20 plus projects in 8 years. Honestly, Star Wars doesn't excite me. I haven't been excited for a Star Wars project since The Force Awakens and Rogue One and the Clone Wars. The last project was freaking Clone Wars. That was in 2020. I get it. It's been 4 years, but I haven't been excited for a single Star Wars project.
Yeah, like, and the only one that I'm truly excited for, I was excited for, but the series ended, so I can't be excited for it anymore.
Yeah.
Bad Batch kept me excited every season, and Andor is keeping that same excitement. Yeah. That's the only two after Clone Wars that really
I was intrigued. I was looking forward to it, but when it came to like the hype level, like I kid you not, The Force Awakens and Clone Wars Season 7, I have never seen more hype about a franchise in years. And we're not getting that because now all the Star Wars fans, John Campea, as much as we all know, he wants to kind of be on both sides of the fence about everything.
Yep.
He's a Star Wars fan, and he's very cautious about people that we watch, Critical Drinker, Star Wars Theory.
Yep.
They're tired. We are tired of these crappy shows. Andor has been the only good show since. Star Wars Visions, you had a wonderful idea with Star Wars Visions, and you threw that out the window. Bad Batch was good. I enjoyed it. Definitely not my favorite animated series, but it was good. To be fair, there's only like 5 of them. And then you have Mandalorian Season 1 and 2, good. Season 3, terrible. Obi-Wan, bad. Book of Boba Fett, snore fest. Andor is the only good thing right now. And a lot of people had a hard time getting through that. I had a hard time getting through Andor, but I watched it and I enjoy it. I'm looking forward to Season 2. Skeleton Crew, very cautious about it because it's Goonies in outer space. Could work. The Acolyte, good idea. Bombed terribly. A dumpster fire.
Yeah.
But
the only one I would give that people call bad that I don't think is bad is Mandalorian Season 3. I actually liked it.
I like there were some parts I actually liked about Season 3.
Yeah, exactly.
But then after that, where do you go with those characters? Seriously. Like, there's nowhere to go with Mando. There isn't. Season 2, in my opinion, that should have been the end of the show. There was not like Season 3. Okay, maybe Season 3. No, actually, yeah, Season 3 getting his honor back. But also that could have been a whole wonderful thing right there. They kind of messed up pretty bad.
No, I think I know why they did it that way. They didn't want to say it because I know they didn't.
Mm-hmm.
Mandalorian Season 3 is the final season. It is because Mandalorian and Grogu, I know everyone's going to hate when I say this. The Mandalorian will not live to see Thrawn. Or if he does, he will die by Thrawn.
Yeah.
The Mando and Grogu is Grogu.
I want that movie to be John Wick. I want that to be the John Wick of this universe. I kid you not.
It's the Grogu protection.
Or Mando needs to die.
It's Grogu protection. It's Grogu.
Exactly. But I'm looking forward. Like, Mando is supposed to be Season 4. But it's, like I said, it's 5 episodes of television put into one. And we got Cameo Fest of the original trio. Again. How many times are you got to keep doing this, Disney?
But I think there's a reason why.
Yeah, probably. I think there's a good reason.
Because who are the only people Mando would trust besides the Mandalorians? He doesn't. Now listen. He trusts them, but he does not believe that they can protect Grogu. I think he's going to take Grogu to the rebellion. It's going to be Luke, Han, Leia, and Ahsoka. And Grogu, does become a student of Kylo Ren's school. And maybe Kylo kills Grogu. We don't know. But maybe that's how it leads into stuff.
Yeah.
Or he helps beat Thrawn. I don't know, but there's gonna be something with Grogu after.
I hardly doubt that. With Mandalorian and Grogu, from what I've heard about it, is that there's supposed to be a scene between him and Luke where they use the Force together. there's a scene where they're on an ATRT on Hoth for some reason, but I don't know. I trust Jon Favreau. He's done a phenomenal job as a director and a writer. But
here's the thing with the reason I trust it them more. We heard the leaks about Grogu piloting a mech, and we're like, "What the fuck?" If it when it was in action, I thought it was pretty cool. I thought it was a neat idea. I thought how they did it was better than what the leaks said it was.
Yeah,
and it made sense.
Yeah, because I mean, he left people in a baby carriage, and the guy only moves like 2 miles an hour on his little. He's 50 years old. I mean, yeah. I don't know. I'm cautiously optimistic about Mandalorian and Grogu, but again, it just comes from a place where I'm not excited for Star Wars. I don't love this IP as much as I used to.
That's true. That is, yeah.
And it's sad. It really is. And I think that's one of the reasons why I want to get into this industry, because I care about these franchises. And honestly, not going to lie, yes, I'm 21 years old. I'm young. I'm arrogant. And I'm very self-centered. But I think I could do a hell of a better job than some of these other people.
Well, and here's the thing I would tell you, Mr. Studios. I mean Ace, but no, seriously. We'll get to the final stuff too, but it's just like with me and Star Wars, it's like for me, I wouldn't go into the industry myself, but if I had someone to bring me in, wink, wink. But I would be right there. I'd be in that writer's room. And I would say every idea for a show like that.
I swear to God, if you bring in dinosaurs into the discussion, I'm throwing you out. Dude, that was in the freaking promotional for High Republic. There was an option, an idea, and it said dinosaurs.
Can I get something real quick? Do you mind?
Yeah.
You mind if I get something?
Yeah, you can get something real quick.
Oh, okay. I'll be right back.
All right, no problem. Quick break. Yeah, but honestly, I don't know what they can really do. I don't think they got any. There's no other news that I'm seeing right
now. No. Why are you talking bad about the High Republic, bro?
Oh God.
No, I bought them on sale at a store. And the only reason I can't remember which one it was, but it's the one where it has the Jedi rock. Do you know what? Yeah, I have that. I have that boat.
I remember the Jedi rock. I remember the fucking plant thing that they did. I don't know, like, what the heck what was up with that story group, man? High Republic flopped the moment it showed up, but I don't know. Like, I'm tired, almost just like with Marvel and DC. I'm just cautiously optimistic. I really hope that these things do well. I just don't think that we're gonna get any good Star Wars for a while, and that's the sad thing, for sure.
Well, look at this right here.
Yeah.
This is their timeline of the Star Wars universe.
Yep. They did actually expand it this year. They got Dawn of the Jedi, Old Republic, High Republic, and then all of that. And then they got the New Jedi Order at the very end.
Yeah.
Which they did expand. I just really hope that, according to what reports have stating that that Marvel and Lucasfilm and Disney, they started to get rid of a lot of the woke activists. I really hope to God that that's true, because I want to see the next 5 years of these franchises booming and thriving like they once were. And with Kathleen Kennedy as the CEO, I don't think it's going to work. And a lot of these writers that we got right now, I don't think it's going to work.
Yeah.
The last good idea was freaking Top Gun in outer space, dude. That was the last good idea.
Listen, I would love Top Gun in outer space. I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah, Rogue Squadron.
Rogue Squadron, yeah, but I think honestly, this is a good place to end. Or do we have one more? I feel like
I think that's it. I haven't seen anything else, but that's pretty much it. Any last thoughts? Anything that are you cautiously optimistic about all these things? Are you excited?
No. Well, wait, Andor, but that's
Andor
it.
season 2. He's excited about Andor, guys.
And Skeleton Crew. I think it looks all right.
Yeah, it looks all right. I'm gonna take a look at it for
Listen,
sure. I'm gonna watch it.
I give my boy Jude Law a watch every time.
Yeah.
All right. Listen, he has made great television, so I can and great movies. So I cannot diss my boy Jude Law until I have watched an episode.
Yeah.
But all right, well, we get 2 episodes, so I get to make a good judgment.
Yeah.
But
we got 2 episodes.
I think it could be good. I have faith.
I think it's gonna be good. I think it's definitely gonna be better than the Acolyte. If it's worse, then yikes, we're in one hell of a time for Star Wars.
You know how bad it is? Stuff that barely had like the suburban looking city. I kind of like the idea. I like it. I do.
I do like it.
But here's the thing I'm gonna say about it too. I feel like this could act. I felt more excited about Skeleton Crew after one trailer than I did for anything else they've announced.
Oh, wow.
After one trailer, because it felt like Star Wars at near the end.
It definitely did. There were some things that pulled me out of the trailer. The freaking cars that they got on the tracks.
But like the thing is like once they leave the city thing and go into those,
be so much better.
No, they go into the woods and then fall into that bunker, or if that's how it goes, whatever. When they're out doing the Star Wars stuff, it looks good. It looks good.
Anything out of the suburban planet looks amazing. Looks phenomenal. Looks so freaking beautiful. I think that the guy who's directing it, who did No Way Home, who did the Spider-Man MCU trilogy, I think he has something here.
John Watts, yeah.
Yep, John Watts. I think he has something here. Yes, it's Goonies in outer space, but guess what? We love Goonies. But I'm cautiously optimistic for Skeleton Crew. It's definitely looks better than Acolyte ever did. Thank God.
Yeah, but I feel like the reason that area pulls us out so bad is because that is how the show is making it. I think that city is supposed to be. It's supposed to be like there is so much more on the outside that you don't know. That thing about Star Wars with Luke, where it's like there is so much more to the galaxy. Why are you cramped up here? Type thing. It's
definitely gonna have that vibe.
And that's how I feel about it. I feel like it's supposed to be like this city is not everything. This city is shit compared to what you can see. Exactly. I feel like that's how, and I think that's why it's off-putting to everybody, because they're making it be off-putting. Because maybe they're trying to say maybe a privilege thing too. I don't think that. John Watts doesn't do that really, and I don't think he's going to do it here. But I really think that it is going to be a parallel between being trapped in these cities and trying to be safe and all this, and actually going out in the world and taking a risk, experiencing the danger of what is out there, what you can actually do. And I think that is what Star Wars was always about. People forget Star Wars at the beginning with Luke was not about spaceships and starships. It was about
the adventure. It was always about I'm stuck at home. There's
I want more.
The world than just the town that you live in. There's so much more out there. Go explore it. And that's one of the reasons why I'm excited for Skeleton Crew. But I'm excited for it. I think Andor season 2 is going to be great. I know Star Wars Vision season 3 is coming. I know it is. There ain't no way it's not coming. I hope it's better than season 2. Everything else, everything that we talked about so far, I'm cautiously optimistic about it. The Rey movie, I think it's just going to be episode 10 through 12. I really do. I don't see it being anything else. Or maybe it's the stepping off point to that trilogy.
Yeah.
But besides that, that's pretty much it. I'm cautiously optimistic. I'm just sad to see where Star Wars has become. What Star Wars has become in the past couple years.
Me too, man.
I want to see this IP thrive, and it just keeps digging itself down. It's been 10 years. It's already 10 feet in the ground. So
yeah, the only thing that's kept Star Wars alive, Clone Wars, Bad Batch, Andor, and Jedi Survivor in the Jedi games.
Yeah. But
Yay!
That's pretty much it. I don't have anything else to really discuss. I know you're excited about Andor Season 2 and you're excited for Skeleton Crew. Are you optimistic about anything else to kind of end the things off?
No. Because the only one that I'm optimistic cautiously is James Mangold's. Besides that, no. Because if you're doing it after the sequel trilogy, I don't know what the hell you could do.
There is an idea, but that's a whole nother discussion. So I really hope there's more news for that.
Because you're going after a trilogy that a lot of people do not care about. They don't care about that timeline.
Yeah.
So you really need to, if you're going to make something like that, you need to make it good.
Yeah, there's only one possible idea, but we're not going to get into that. I really hope that there's more news later on so I can discuss it. But that is pretty much it. We're cautiously optimistic for the future of Star Wars, but as of right now, we can kind of care less besides Andor Season 2 and somewhat excited for Skeleton Crew.
Yeah. All right, everybody.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah, we will talk to you later about more Star Wars news, Marvel, DC, whatever you want to talk about or hear us talk about.
Yeah.
We will be there to cover it all. And and we will see you for more Star Wars content. Unfortunately, unless I'm building a Lego set, there will not be more Star Wars content until December 3rd or that week. So get ready.
I think we're definitely going to talk about the first 2 episodes of Skeleton Crew.
For sure. Oh, we have to.
We have to.
We're Star Wars YouTubers.
Yeah, we have to at that point. So.
All right, everybody. Talk to you later. And then after that will probably be Kraven the Hunter.
Yeah. We'll talk about Kraven the Hunter when it comes out. But, yeah. That's
we don't know. Yeah.
Thank you guys for watching.
Yep.
Episode.
It has been. And also, we don't know what the heck will be after this. We just have to see what news comes out. What we have.
We hope something comes out within the next 2 weeks so that way we can cover it.
We have something else to cover. Yep.
Yes, we got something.
I feel like we will. There's been so much coming out.
Oh, yeah, there's a lot. November has been a really good start so far, and it's going to be exciting.
Yep, we're going to grind it out, but we will see y'all next time. I believe the next episode will be 33. Yep, I'm pretty 33. Sure. Yep, so we will see y'all next time for 33, and we will talk to y'all later.
All right. Peace out, everybody.
He takes a bow. Bye-bye.